How many times I gotta tell you gay assholes, stop adding men into the conversation. Stop putting stud and men in the same conversation. Oh my God. You know what? Usually I be on the stud side all the time when it comes to this shit. But this time, no. I ain't gonna hold you. Cause what the fuck do you mean the men are trying to dress like oh my God. What does that even mean? We as bitches dressing like niggas. So now we gonna Uno reverse it and say that they dressing like us. Stop it. For real. Oh my God. Like, it gets to a point, bitch. Here y'all go. No, the studs adopted the men's style and made it their own. Okay.
Yeah. It's some truth to that. It's some truth to that. Because once again, when it comes to the transgender people, you can say that they adopted things from females and then made it their own because they take it to the top. But I don't know if it's just their style or it's just that you're not believable unless you go to the extreme of whatever a woman is. The same way, vice versa with the studs. Like, she has her hat backwards and she's black. How many black people you see with their hat backwards? That's like the ODB boy back in the days. That you have to present that kind of way in order for you to come off as masculine. I meet a lot of people. I do a lot of work. When I was out there, I met a woman. She was, she's a white woman. This is confusing now that I'm saying it. All right. She was a white woman with pink hair, but she's a lesbian, kind of, sort of. So she's mostly a lesbian. And she was wearing, when I met her, she had a jumper skirt, or whatever that is. Like a jumper skirt, right? Like an overall skirt. And now I'm in her house and she asks me like, yo, what do you think about the bed? I'm like, what do you mean? It was a gray bed with like fabric, whatever it is. She was like, yeah, but is it like masculine enough? Like, I'm mad confused. Now, the girl that she was talking to comes over. That girl is a feminine type, but this feminine type of girl, she also likes dudes. She's more bi. Now, they did something together with a guy, but that was just because the other girl, it's a black girl, the black girl wanted to do that. So she led into that. So she don't really like guys, but she'll do it for the woman. She's more masculine presenting, although she was wearing overall skirts. Kind of confusing. But when we was in the room, she was trying to ask me, like, is this bed like masculine enough? She was like, you have a girl come over, you don't want to, like you want it to look masculine, which I didn't know. So apparently the dominant one in the lesbian relationship, like these women right here, those women have to try to come off as masculine as possible. So what they have to do is emulate whatever men do naturally, right? So my room is not going to have pink roses around it, right? So therefore, they don't want to have that. So they want their rooms to be like a man's room, but they kind of know what it is, but they don't fully know what it is. So she's like, is this good? He's like, I don't want a girl come over here and feel like, like I'm feminine or nothing like that, because she want to take her heart. She want to be the masculine person in her life. I sit there and think, I'm like, so you have to do what men already do, which gets more stupid, but that's a whole nother story. You have to do what men already naturally do in order for the woman to like you. This is the reason why studs like this dress like that. The studs that's dressing like boys, the women that they talk to like boys, but in a weird feminine way. Like, you still want them to be a girl, but you like boys. It's weird, but you have to be masculine because the girls won't like you. The girls that they date won't like you. They don't like other feminine women for the most part.
Okay. I can see where you're going with that, but I need somebody to explain to me what stud style is. What is that? Like, what exactly is that, bro? Like, I'm not on y'all side right now. I'm not. I don't give a fuck. And then here go the niggas. Who are they men trying to dress like studs, but who are they trying to be like? That pissed me off, okay? Because we ain't trying to be men. Oh my God. See, this is why I say, that's one reason. They say shit like that whenever you add men and stud in the same sentence. They don't belong in the same sentence, G.
If you say that men are not trying, if studs are not trying to be like men, then you will automatically be saying that the studs have their own style, right? You would say that, yeah, we might take influence from men, but we have our own style. But then you're arguing that studs don't have their own style because they're trying to be like men. You see how things get confusing when people start speaking out loud?
The men are dressing like studs. Let's talk about it. Y'all not gonna do hauls showing me 5 pairs of bedazzled sweatpants and tell me that y'all don't get y'all inspo from studs. But let's introduce a nuance into the conversation. The most influential people who create trends that permeate through culture very seldom get the credit for it. So while these men may not directly say, oh yeah, there's this stud that I follow on TikTok who I got my fashion sense from, we all know what we're looking at.
They think that men go on TikTok. Look at the face. They think that men go on TikTok to get their fashion sense. You think that men, so skip all the rappers that dress like that, the Young Thugs, the Little Uzi Verts, all of those dudes, the Pumps, all these dudes with, you know, sparkles on their face and shit like that, embedded in their face, in their cheeks, in their forehead. You think they skipped past all of those dudes and was like, nah, I gotta go TikTok. TikTok is where the fashion is at. Oh, I seen this dyke. Oh, she killed it. I need to go outside and change my whole wardrobe according to that. Yeah, guys don't do that. In fact, everything that you see that these people wear probably come from gay men, right? When it comes to fashion. So you have gay men that's leading the charge. This is the reason why the rock stars, that's where it really come from the rock stars, the rappers, in fact, all the rappers that dress like that call themselves rock stars, ironically. So this fashion is not new. And then the people that lead the fashion charts are the gay men. So the gay men give it to the straight, whatever you want to call them. All right. They give it to those men, and those men put it out to the world. They influence the other men, and the other men follow that trend. The men wearing whatever you call that, the fanny pack thingies or whatever goes across the chest. Anyway, men wearing that now. They're not getting that from dykes. They're getting that from these dudes. So the thing, and I'm trying to figure out, where do dykes think they get their fashion sets from? Where do y'all get y'all fashion sets from? Maybe she'll say it.
So are the men dressing like studs? Yes. But do they know that? I don't think they do. I think more so this is a conversation about how androgyny really has influenced a lot of what we find unique and interesting when it comes to art and pop culture. ASAP, for example, who's like one of the, top male fashion icons right now. I looked at his merch the other day and he has a beanie that's a set of rollers. It's a whole head of rollers. Like, you guys, come on. Now, I've never seen men embrace women's wear quite like how they do now.
Well, I have to say something about that because I don't know if you ever seen the movie Friday. If you ever seen the movie Friday, this is in the 90s. Friday with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. This is in the 90s. If you look at Big Worm, if you go on YouTube right now, or go on Google and just type up Big Worm Friday, you're going to see Big Worm with the same thing in his hair. And this is West Coast gangster. This is not something that's new. Like this is what I'm trying to say. This is an old thing. This is not studs do that. First of all, I've never in my life seen a stud with rollers in their hair. Never, not once. In fact, I think they're actually fully against it. And if you have ever seen a stud with rollers in their head, not only like this video, put a comment down below. Give me the name. Email me the picture. I'm putting my email in the comment section. I'm putting my email in the description. Email me the picture where you see a stud with rollers and everything in their hair. Hell, I think I see more men with that than when it comes to in comparison to studs. Women first, no, transgender first, then women, then men. Studs come last.
In 2023, men discovered their waist and decided that they wanted to start wearing every crop t-shirt they could find. They wanted to crop every hoodie they could find, every crop jacket. On top of that, I've been seeing a lot of men wear women's wide leg trousers. Something to do with the way they fall on the body. This combination of a of a wide leg women's pant with a shortened crotch that hovers right above a boot with a crop t-shirt. It makes y'all look more petite than you actually are, on top of the fact that baggy silhouettes are also trending. So baggy on baggy tends to make you look a little smaller, even if you are a very tall man. So aesthetically, a lot of the silhouettes that we're seeing tend to lean more androgynous. I think that specifically with the intersection of menswear and streetwear, the only way forward, the only way that men are trying to elevate their style, look a little bit different, more interesting, there's only two routes. A, adornments on traditional menswear cuts, or B, embracing women's wear. The main difference between studs and men, and as far as fashion goes, is masculine presenting women dress that way, yes, for preference, also in consideration of the body, even with a more menswear aesthetic or more masculine aesthetic, also to signal some type of gender nonconformity. Men, it may not be to appear queer, but more so, like I said, to not look like every other nigga in the club. So,
But that don't make because all these dudes get their fashion sense from gay men. That who you think dress these guys? Who you think give them their fashion? It's not a dyke. It's not a dyke back there like, yeah, you about to kill it with this. It's gay men. And once again, who do the dykes get their fashion sense from? And I knew they was going to pull up the people like A$AP Rocky. Also, we have to take into in consideration that there are people that dress a certain way. Like you're going to see goth people, right? Goth people dress in a certain manner. Gay people dress in a certain manner. In fact, let's put this out there. In fact, if we're going to say men are dressing like studs, I would say men are more likely to be dressing like gay men. Let's see. I seen a picture with Pharrell here. Hold on. Are you telling me that this is stud? Are you telling me this is a stud? A woman that's a stud wants to look like this. This looks more like a gay man or a female. This looks more like a transgender or a gay man. This is what that looks like. So I have yet, and maybe I'm just losing it. I've never, ever in my life, not once, seen a stud with this attire with a purse. Handbag, whatever you want to call it. That's a purse. I've never, not once. Once again, if you've seen it, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I want to know that I'm wrong. And it's up to y'all to tell me that, listen, man, you are absolutely wrong. This is what studs do all the time. So keep this in check. Let me know if I'm absolutely wrong and I don't know what I'm talking about. But I have never seen a stud with a shirt like this, a pants like that, wear their clothes like this, the bell-bottom jeans with a purse. Never. I would say more than likely that came from a gay man.
So instead of a hoodie, it's a bedazzled hoodie. Instead of a beanie, it's a beanie with a bunch of pearls on it. Instead of regular jeans, it's jeans with, a bunch of graphics on it. Or instead of a hoodie, it's a women's fit cropped cardigan. Androgyny in fashion is not something that is new, but for some reason, there's a judgment for it because maybe now we're seeing studs become more part of mainstream conversation. It's interesting.
But if it's nothing new and you can't name any stud, at least I can't, any stud that led that charge, I don't think it's the stud. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think the studs did that because I don't know any besides the brat that dress and lead the charge on any clothes. I'm gonna call it gay men. And also, no matter how much a woman tries to look like a man, unless you're like Brittany Griner, that's her name, whatever the basketball with deep voice playing is, whatever her name is, unless you're like her, a lot of women are not gonna look like men anyway. So when you wear these things, these masculine things, you're gonna automatically look more feminine. The same way if men wear a little tighter clothes, they're gonna automatically look. They're gonna automatically look more. You're gonna automatically look more masculine as a woman. The same way if men wear slightly tighter clothes, they're gonna look more feminine. And I think dykes wearing masculine clothes gets to the 50% line between man and woman, and then guys wearing more feminine clothes get to the 50% line of looking like man and a woman, basically a transgender type. And then those two meet and then they look alike at some point. And what I was trying to say is that people have these fashion sense. People dress a certain type of way. It's a group of people that dress just the way she's talking about. is these guys that dress, if they, not even gay men, right? These guys that dress like that, and they always dress like that. They always, I don't know what it's called. I don't even know the type of fashion. But if you go into Zara, you're gonna see that. This is like, yeah, if you're going to Zara, it's a perfect example. If you go in there, you'll see the way the clothes is cut and shaped and stuff like that. That's not inspiration to Dykes. That's just the way those people dress. So to say Dykes led the charge, you have to find me a Dyke that is popular, that everybody was like, yeah, you got to get that. And if your idea is it came from like a TikTok or something modern, then you would have to prove that this didn't happen before, which you could never do, because men since the beginning of the time used to do it. Men used to wear wigs. George Washington time, they wore wigs. That's enough for today.